4 pops, and I saw them go out there with their guns on my property, private property. What happened to our constitutional rights of private property and privacy?
Yep.
To live free on our land without
That's right.
government intrusion. I see it gone out the window. And so they commenced the killing, and I sat where I could watch them, everything they did. And they stopped all of a sudden. They went in the chicken house and then they came back out and they stopped. And I thought, what's going on? And my husband had got there by that time, because I was alone when they first came, just me. And so he got there and we went up and said, what's going on? And they said, oh, you're in the wrong zone. They weren't even supposed to be killing in our area. It's not in the red zone. But yet they were. And then they got calls from somebody, and all of a sudden they stopped and said, oh, we're sorry. You know, they'd already killed 4 birds, but they're sorry. And we just really feel like our constitutional rights have been walked all over. And we're upset. And we'd like to see a stop to this kind of Gestapo action. And I think somebody has given me more time.
You have 2 more drops.
Okay. I wanted to take pictures. I only got a few pictures toward the end of them packing up and leaving. I think we need to be more educated and more encouraged about get our cameras out right from the beginning. And I hear that it's very hard to get a lawyer because they're afraid. They're afraid they'll lose their licenses in California. I think we need to get a class action suit going with all of us. That this is happening too. And so there needs to be more looked into about that and what our recourses could be. Because where else can we turn on this earth for help? And you know, they killed my 3 ducks and 1 bantam rooster who we let run free on our property because so the other roosters wouldn't fight with him. He was kind of a comical guy. I called him Spanky. And he was the chicken that they killed because he was loose. And I have 5 peacocks that are very valuable, and I didn't want them to be destroyed. We were raising them, hoping to make a little income with them. We're retired, and so I'd like to be able to sell them. And we're raising geese for feed, for food, for us, and also just for our pleasure. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, as frustrating as it is from sitting up here, I have a feeling that myself as well as my colleagues would like to just give our opinions and support. But again, it's not an agendized item, so there's really very limited what we can say. But we certainly understand what's going on. We're not going to just take this line down. I'm a prior bird owner myself. We had chickens and a peacock ourselves and a couple goats. So I understand that they're not just animals, they are family. So we will do what we can. That's all I can say. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story. That's very moving. The next speaker is Richard Kritz.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Yes, on May the 30th, I had taken my wife to the doctor. I came home, and there was a kill notice for my chickens and my birds on my fence. So that was, by the time we got home, it was too late to call. They gave me another call. They said I had 24 hours to try to get an appeal. So the next morning, at 6:30 in the morning, I called the number they gave me. I got had a recording telling me that they worked from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And so at 7:05, I called them again, and what I got was a recording telling me due to the Newcastle disease, their workload was very heavy, they probably couldn't get to me, but they would return my call. I left my name, my phone number, my address, and the reason why I was calling. And at that, I didn't stop there, though. I looked in the phone book, I got the address and the phone number for the CDFA office in Sacramento, and the one in Ontario, there's one in San Diego. So I went to the one in Ontario, and I knocked on the doors. They have padlocks with, you can't get into them. They look out through these dark windows at you to see who's there. Finally, a gentleman did come out, and he explained to me, he says, well, so if you have the kill notice, there's nothing we can do. They have to abide by these, trying to tell me how horrible the disease is. And I explained to him, yes, I know, but my birds haven't been tested at that point. So, anyways, on the 30th, I'm sorry, I went ahead and, you know, there's not much I felt like I could do at that point. I had my hands tied. But on June the 2nd, on Sunday, there was a gentleman who came to my gate again from the CDFA, and he explained to me, he says, well, it says, no, we're gonna swab the birds. We're what we call a clean team. We're gonna swab them, and then we'll go from there. And so we asked him, will we be killing my birds? And the answer was no, we will not be killing your birds until the test comes around. On June the 4th, they showed up. That was on a Sunday. On June the 4th, on Tuesday, the kill team showed up at my property. They did come in. I was not home. I asked them to notify me so I could be home with my wife, so she's not by herself. They came in. They went ahead and told her, she showed them the notice from the gentleman on the 2nd. They said that didn't matter, we don't care, we're here to kill the birds, right? They wouldn't give her a chance to get her glasses. She couldn't read what she was trying to sign there. And if they did the test on June the 2nd, I should have had till today, June the 6th, to know whether my birds were infected or not. As of right now, I still haven't received a call from them saying that my birds, and they said if you don't receive a call, your birds are probably, the test was negative, okay? But they didn't wait. They went into my property, they backed their trucks up, they went ahead and killed 4 of the birds, and then in the midst of this, they stopped. And so they were standing out front. I went out there to ask them, gentlemen, what's going on? And they informed me that they were contacting Sacramento, that there was a call came to them that it was confusing, and they wound up that they were in the wrong area. That's what they told me, we're in the wrong area. Now, I feel like
wrapped it up, your time has expired.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
You
okay.
have extra time?
I had an extra 3 minutes, sir.
Who gave you the 3 minutes?
Just
Kaya? Kai Esteban? Okay, yes, you have 3 more minutes.
Okay.
She wrote it in the corner, I didn't see it. Okay, my apologies. Keep going,
So,
please.
after they killed the birds, after they entered my property where there's signs on the property says private property, no trespassing, then they told me, they said, well, sir, we're awful sorry, we can't bring the birds back, but we'll reimburse you for the birds. But it's a little bit too late for that. Now they have already entered private property. Whether it's a mistake with Sacramento or Ontario, or whether they just can't get together, I'm not sure what the problem is there, but I felt like it was very unprofessional the way that they went about doing it. And I feel like they just violated my rights as an American citizen to private property and to kill my animals. And all they could say was, gee, we're sorry. If something had happened at another level, where a person did something wrong and they said, gee, I'm sorry, sometimes that wouldn't be enough. There's legal action that has to be taken. I'm trying to speak for the rest of the people that have birds. It's not fair that they should just be able to come on our property and just order you to stay out of the way. They bring their own police department with them, and they just they treated us like we were criminals. I had 3 of their trucks backed into my yard. I had 5 of their cars and about 3 or 4 highway patrol vehicles sitting in my front yard. You'd think I'd kill somebody with their bodies in the backyard. And I thought, come on, guys. And their way of addressing us as people, it feels like it's just like we're nothing, we're nobody, they can just push us out of the way. I understand that the Newcastle disease is a bad disease, but I'm thinking that there's gotta be another way that they can get with the people and talk to us, civil, as if we had some common sense. They act like we have no common sense at all, and it's just violating our rights, and I'm here just to speak so that other people know what to expect and what's going on. It just doesn't seem fair. And the fact that they were on private property and they did this, and then they found out that they were in the wrong area, that's not right at all. So, I'm pretty much done.
Great, thank you, again, appreciate you sharing. Thank you. I'm gonna try not to mess this up too badly, but Jeff Angela Cabrera? And you've been donated 3 minutes by Juan Munoz, so you'll have 6 minutes, okay?
Good evening, council members. My name is Jeffrey Angelo Cabrera. I'm actually a resident of San Diego, California. I'm a graduate student of public health at San Jose University. I'm here tonight to represent my father, Anastasio Cabrera Jr. And I'm here to speak in regards of the virulent Newcastle disease that supposedly affected the bird livestock of rural communities in this area. The California Department of Food and Agriculture, or the CDFA, have been abusing their power and are harassing the rural communities of the Inland Empire. Members of the CDFA have no regard for public safety and have no respect for people's rights to the private property. They have been using live ammunition to kill these birds, which I've heard from testaments previously. And there have even been reports from our other neighbors that the bullets are ricocheting into their yards. So that's where children are playing, other innocent pets, dogs, cats, all those. Many of these members have been failing to provide proper forms of ID in regards to the CDFA members. For all we know, these people can be anyone, like John stated earlier in his speech. We don't know who these people are, People from out of state. What are they doing here? Again, this is an absolute hazard for our public safety. I want to add in that the community affected by this disaster has banded together under the group named Save Our Birds. The group is quickly approaching 5,000 members as we speak. Within this group, there have been reports of the CDFA even dumping the birds that they wrongfully killed into landfills. Now, from a public health perspective, in regards to epidemiology, this is extremely dangerous. Whether or not the birds are affected or not, this can allow the virus to run even more rampant, even within places that, again, like I stated, aren't even in this area. This can also allow the virus to even perhaps mutate and become worse. So, CDFA has been operating in an extremely unprofessional manner. After they killed several of my parents' neighbors' birds, they received a call from the headquarters to cease their operation because they were in the wrong area where the virus has not even reached yet. Again, reinstating what has been previously said. That's all I've written for my part of the speech, but I will keep going since I have no time. Mayor, I'm glad that you were able to say that you have owned livestock before everything that they've owned. For the other members of this council, I want to add whether or not you've had livestock. The people of this rural community, the land that they own, the livestock that they own, this is their American dream.
Yeah.
A lot of these people, they came a long way, My family were Filipino immigrants. We originally came from the Central Valley, around Delano, Bakersfield, California. We moved here because the land was abundant and it was very cheap for the most part. So to say that, as stated before, there's these gestapo-like people, that's pretty serious, coming into our lands, killing our animals wrongfully. That's definitely not right. And that's why I'm here to represent my father, which couldn't be here tonight because I have other farm work to do. And I want to speak on his behalf. This is really his American dream. Him taking care of the livestock every day. He has chickens, goats, ducks. He does that every day, they're retired. That's literally his passion. That's his therapy. He's a diabetic. he's still walking around, and thank God, because, you know, as we know, when you stop moving, that's when the disease really kills you. So I'm really thankful that he was able to find an acre of land in Nuevo, California, to be able to keep doing what he loves. And I'm really appreciative of God for bringing everything together, because they found that plot of land when I graduated from San Jose University in 2016. So I was able to help them move out from the Central Valley, where my mom's affected from, you know, all the pollution out there. So we are really thankful that we found this area. But now that the CDFA is tormenting the rural community, it's a problem. It's definitely a problem. And it's an issue with me, even though I'm out there in San Diego, California. Yeah, it's only an hour and a half away, less than that, but I want to be part of this fight, this battle. And maybe I'll try to go to that meeting as well, where the CDFA will be present. But again, I'm glad I was able to speak for the behalf of this community. Everyone here is new to me. I came here with my mom, my nephew, and our neighbor. So everyone else here is pretty much new to me. But that's what I want to say, and I want to thank you for your time.
We thank you as well. Yes, I just had flashbacks of our goats coming in our house and our chickens. You know, we sit in the bedroom and watch this stream of toilet paper floating through the house, and we walk over and the goat would be in the other room, and it would just be feeding into the house. Yeah, our animals live in and out of our house. So yeah, I get it. We get it. The next speaker, Amy Irwin.
Good evening. My name is Amy Irwin, and I come here tonight as a concerned resident of Jurupa Valley and also a strong supporter of the SOB Save Our Birds movement. After months of watching all my neighbors lose their birds and talking with many of them about their experience with the CDFA, things just aren't adding up for me. My first concern began when all of this started late last year, when CDFA came canvassing my neighborhood, claiming an outbreak of viral in Newcastle. At first, it seemed just a sad situation. That was until I started speaking and hearing from all my neighbors claiming their birds were healthy. Fast forward to now, and I still have not heard from anyone claiming to have seen this disease in action. Looking at the number of birds killed, you would think more people would be seeing their birds die of this disease. Since becoming involved with Save Our Birds, my concerns have only grown. Since I'm limited in time, I will only name my biggest concerns, but honestly I could go on and on. Let's start with wild birds and bird control. If this disease is in fact here, why are we not seeing pigeons and doves dying in the street like we did in the 2002-2003 outbreak? Why is there no wild bird control being done? Just last week, over 500 very valuable pigeons were slaughtered, yet I still see wild pigeons flying freely. Second, I would like to speak about biosecurity. It would seem as if these CDFA employees have received little to no training in this matter. From walking door to door with the same pair of booties to yet another incident last week where a CDFA employee was videotaped killing birds for a good 5 minutes with absolutely no biosecurity suit on, there seems to be no professionalism in this area. My next biggest concern is actually a very big one. Non-compliance with OSHA regulations in regards to providing MSDS sheets for chemicals they are freely spraying all over our city. They have generic, unmarked spray pumps filled with a mysterious chemical they claim to be a disinfectant called Furcon-S. I say claim because even though they have been asked dozens of times, they refuse to provide an MSDS sheet to specify what exactly they are spraying. This matter has been brought to the attention of OSHA, but I felt my city officials may want to know as well. Last on my list of concerns for tonight is lack of identification. These government employees that are showing up to residents' homes are refusing to show homeowners any type of identification. They make sure to keep their badges flipped around and refuse to give names when asked. Yet for some reason feel it okay to take pictures of our license plates, claiming they are in fear of us. Now let's think about this for a moment. Even if I get their license plate number, they are driving a government vehicle, in which it is impossible for me to get any type of personal information. Compare that to them running my plates, they now know my full name and address. Not to mention it opens up the opportunity for anyone to claim they are with the CDFA in hopes of being able to enter my property. Even the gas and electric guys show proper identification. So why is it that people showing up to my house with firearms are not expected to do the same? As my time comes to a close, I'd like to thank you all for your time this evening and invite you all to follow our page, SOB, Save Our Birds. Thank you.
Good job.
And, Bill Randolph.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
Use the hand mic.
Thanks so much.
You bet.
Might not need my voice, I don't know, but, Mr. Mayor, good evening, city council members, good evening as well, and the active people in the city here. My nickname here in Jurupa is Jurupa Bill, Cowboy, and I've been sent on many, different tasks in Jurupa. I'm a founding brother of the city of Jurupa Valley. I would volunteer for Jurupa Valley, for many years before it was a city, while it was trying to become a city, while it became a city, and I was able to work and establish communications in the first city hall on my own, and I have contributed many hundreds of hours here volunteer. I will be volunteering at the rodeo again this year, working security, bringing people safely into the grounds on horseback and parking their vehicles there. Worked many years in the river bottom on horse patrol with Equestrian Trails Patrol, sworn, and I would like to at this time dedicate all of my time, including what I'm gonna do tomorrow and the next day, and look at that point, how valuable it is, in the name of asking and pleading with the council to please get a citizens commission started, a volunteer commission, where they can work with you, and I know that you are working on this already. I hear it, I see the diligence, I'm impressed. Good evening, George. And as many of us are, so my encouragement to the council and my impartation for my service rendered, and it will be rendered, is please, let's get the commission going, and I want to donate all the time I've done here in the commission of this issue. I'm a horseman here in the valley, and I'm so glad that horse meat is not sold on the common market, because they would find some disease and they would round up all the horses and they would say, in the name of public health, you know, and I agree that Newcastle's is it's a terrible disease. I also agree that there are no dead birds in the street. Therefore, the science is incomplete, and it's not a science, it's a practice. It's a practice of killing. And there's a lot of practice going on. And I would say that not only is it affecting the homeowners and the people and the animals, that can you imagine walking by the kill site of your favorite parrot that was 4 years old and was strangled or whatever in front of you, and you'd go by that spot, your property would be basically devalued, you'd be unhappy. So I'm an advocate of science, and this is just not that. This is a situation where it has gone on video, out of control. All my service dedicated to this issue. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And next is Grace.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace Cabrera.
Use the hand mic.
A neighbor of Richard and Donna, and I'm here to support them because I'm just next door neighbor, and I am here also to say my grievances regarding what's going on, because last Tuesday I heard voices on my gate saying, "Get out, we're here," and they were screaming, and so me and my husband went over and I said, "What's going on?" I saw the cops around, police car, and the sheriff, they showed me his badge. He said that we're here. And Michael Abbott, the supervising special investigator, also showed up in my gate saying that we're here to kill your birds. And I said, what? What's going on? And he said, are you familiar with the disease that's going on? And I said, no. Your area is infected, he said, and we're here to get your birds. And I said, why? my birds are okay, they're all healthy. And I said, oh, they're right there in your neighbor, they're killing their birds and you're next. So you need to open your gate because you're next. And I said, oh no, you can't get our birds. But my husband said, it's okay, you can get them, but please don't kill them in our property because I can handle it. Because he has a heart ailment and he's diabetic, so raising the birds is his therapy. So we are raising these birds for our food too. So they asked us, so what do you do with the birds? You have a lot. And I said, we're raising them for our food. And they said, oh, you know what? I think you have an option. You can butcher them in front of us, but you cannot keep them. And I said, what? Yeah, since you said that you're raising it, so you can butcher them and then put them in your freezer for food later. And I said, no. And then my husband said, no, if you want our birds, just get them, and but please don't kill them in my property because I cannot look at them. So as soon as we're conversing, and they said, I heard somebody say, hey, stop, stop. But we can already hear the gunshots that they're running after Richard's and Donna's birds. And they heard that they stopped. They said, we are in the wrong area. So I said, what? You're killing our birds and you're in the wrong area? Oh, somebody just called them. Just give us your information and then we'll call you when we will come again for your birds. So I'm sad. I hope somebody will hear our prayers that they cannot just come in and kill our healthy birds. You know.
Thank you.
Okay, and the next speaker is Jennifer Schneider. You have 6 minutes.
You're up, girl. You got it? Yeah.
Hello. I also have 6 minutes because I was donated minutes by Gina. I know when we started this meeting, we started with the Pledge of Allegiance. The very last line of the Pledge of Allegiance is liberty and justice for all. We need to remember that. We need to remember why we're here, why you have those chairs, and what you're doing for our community or what you're not doing for our community. We need justice for all. I'm going to go through some codes that have notified by the public, not just an officer, just regular people who know. Starting with, and this is CDFA, stands for California Department of Food and Agriculture. We also have the USDA involved with this too. So just so you know, in case I use abbreviations and lose you. Here we go. So 18 U.S. Code 242, color of law. Any authority using his power to willfully deprive a person of his rights or privileges of the U.S. Constitution. Our sheriffs have been putting a blind eye into this and just listening to one side and not giving us a chance. Next, First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of press, and peaceful assembly. CDFA has a very big habit of threatening to leave and calls the sheriff when they feel that they're intimidated. They seem to forget that we do have a freedom of speech and freedom of press and freedom of assembly. It should not change or adjust their job. Third, Fifth Amendment. You cannot be forced to incriminate yourself. Many times these people have been confronted, English or Spanish have been confronted and been told what to say and feel scared and just intimidated, and they don't know their rights. 4, duty to read a contract. Must be able to read in the language of the person agreeing to the contract. If you do not, okay, how many of you guys there read Mandarin Chinese? If you cannot speak Mandarin Chinese and you cannot read it, would you sign the contract? You're asking people that their primary language is Spanish to sign a contract they cannot read. So everybody in Maryland that speaks Spanish, those contracts are breached. You understand? It's breached. Those contracts are not valid because they've been given English only. We've been fighting, our whole group's been fighting trying to get Spanish ones, and we haven't seen a Spanish one yet. So every English contract to a Spanish resident has been breached. Oh, they say a translator, but they only do a translation when it's a line that they may go for, and they don't go through the whole contract. We video enough of it. They just do hit and miss. 5. 6.6.4, California Stalking and Cyber Stalking Law. CDFA, search protesters' information. CDFA has followed protesters and parents to the school parking lot. Not the public school, they've actually made it to the school parking lot. What do we call the sheriff? Well, what is their name? Who are they? These people have not identified their act. 6, Ban Act, freedom to record in public with consent. We've had property owners' consent, we've had neighbors' consent, we still get pushed off, and law enforcement has not backed us. Code 602, trespassing. One enters without owner permission or legal rights to be there. These people do not identify themselves. As far as I'm concerned, they're a trespasser. They have not identified themselves. I don't know, we're on 6-7, I don't know. Biosafety, Newcastle disease is a level 2 biosafety requirement. You need to have the red bags with the safety specimen bag. They've been putting them in Ziploc bags you can get from the 99-cent store. The bags that these dead birds are put in are black bags that can be mixed up with the same black bag you put your green grass in. These bags are not identified at all. So, Center of Disease Control, CDC, would have a field day if they had a clue what is going on in Maryland. Hazmat ID. All these trucks, there's not a hazmat on any of these trucks. If there's a car accident on the 60 freeway or the 15 freeway while they're going to the dump site, I have people that are in hazmat, that work in hazmat. How do we control a disease too that's unspilled on the freeway? That's not properly tied down. Jurupa Valley, in many cases, I feel like you sold us out to the CDFA to do your code enforcement for animal, quantities and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe some people have too many chickens in their backyard and it's supposed to have 5 instead of whatever, how many roosters. And they have numerous amount. But I think you guys are kind of selling us out to the CDFA to do the code enforcement for you. That's the fact. That's how people are feeling right here. And they hire the local gang. It's just like any job. You get in, you let your buddy, hey, we got 5 openings, come over here, dude. Because these people all know the streets. Now, across the road here, Petco is still selling parrots and cockatiels. I mean, that's in Eastville right there, there's Petco. There's boxes of dead chickens that have been found at 2 houses prior to the kill date. They get a notice and they get a box of dead chickens in their front gate. We don't know where they're coming from, but they're planting birds. We've had a false report of a household that supposedly had possibly dropping dead birds, and it was there. We've had, the one yesterday, they had a truck sitting there for 5 hours in a man's driveway. They had dead birds from the prior kill. We can't move our animals. They can't put their dead animals on our property. That's right. Jurupa Valley need to step up to the plate.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, and the next speaker, Daniel
Working all the time. There you go, Jennifer. Thank you. Good job.
Okay, Spence Rogers, you have 6 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Councilman, city staff. For those of you that don't know me, I started here in 1963, right over here where the old Polo Loco is. It used to be the old Penley Horse Auction Barn. I started there in 63. I bought and took over the property in 68. I ran the auction there until I sold the property to a developer and who built the shopping center there. So I've been in this community a long time. When I quit and sold out in 1980, I assisted Mike Murphy down here, who owns the Mike's Livestock Auction right here on Limonite, in He had already had a chicken sale and a miscellaneous sale. When I closed up, he asked me if I'd come help him start the horse auction, which I did. I've been associated with Mike long before that because I bought the feed and stuff from him. I can personally attest to the Gestapo tactics that these guys do. When this thing first started several months ago, they called Mike at his home in Oregon, told him, you cannot have a bird sale because of the quarantine. We are going to have some officers there to make sure that no birds enter your property. Mike says, fine. He put on his Facebook page and everywhere that he could that there would be no more bird sales until this was over. That Sunday, these Gestapos, a man coming into the property with a pickup truck with a camper shell on it with 3 goats in the back. They were stopping all the vehicles as they tried to enter our property and wanting to check and see if they had birds. This man had a pickup truck with 3 goats in it, and they says, we want to look in the back. And he says, have you got a warrant? And they says, we don't need one. He says, you do if I'm living in this country. He says, there's a set of things, a 4th Amendment, right to search and seizure. He says, you ain't getting in. They got in a scuffle. Mike was notified in the office. He went out, and this guy pushed Mike, and Mike fell to the ground. And this is video recorded. This guy pushed him. He filed a complaint against Mike, which was eventually dismissed and thrown out because this guy pushed Mike and started it. He had no right to do that. So when these people are saying that they're coming on their property and doing this, something needs to be done, and this city council needs to get with the sheriff's department, who is our police department, as that man said, and our authorities, and stop that. If they don't have a warrant, I don't believe they can come on your property. That's right. And especially doing what they're doing. Yeah. So I didn't come up here tonight to speak about this, but being as this is here, I'll give you my personal deal. I wasn't there, but I saw the video of what went on with those Gestapos. So when these people are saying that they're coming on their property forcefully in this, I can attest to some of their actions of these people. So anyhow, thank you on that matter. Now, the real reason I came tonight was, do we have street sweeping services still operating in our city? I believe we do. I believe they're once a month. Because I thought I saw the other night about, I didn't know they operated at night, but I thought I saw the street sweeper going down Mission Boulevard in front of my property. And I go out and I look at my property, and I've done this in the past, and I've kind of mentioned it to Gary Thompson that needs to check with him. They fly down the road, there was no water, the dirt was messed up, so I don't know if they were just going down like I've seen them in the daytime with their little wheeler running, spreading it all over the place and just going on. They are not very attentive to doing proper street sweeping. I've got a mess in my street. I've got dirt and rocks and leaves and everything. The street needs to be swept. So I would like the city council check into that. And as I've seen on some of the Facebook pages, there's been quite a few comments this last week about the same thing, about the street sweeper not doing their job. But he went out and he just, all he did was just drive by. So is the guy just putting miles on his truck, or are they actually doing some street sweeping? And if they're doing street sweeping, they need to make sure that the equipment is operating, that you get water, that it's sucking up the dirt, and when it gets full, it needs to be dumped someplace, not just continue on. So that's number 2. Number 3, my favorite comment in this deal. What are we doing with code enforcement regarding our illegal vendors? They're still out. That code enforcement man that is supposed to be working the weekend, I have not seen your city car out. I'm out most weekends. And I see these vendors all over. The taco vendors have pretty well gone away because of the taco trucks now being licensed and they're prolific over the company, over the city. Something to think about, a community event. Why not have a truck fest and invite the lobster trucks and the trucks from LA to come in and have a truck fest up here at the old Albertson lot or something. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, sir.
So here's something that we will do, to staff. George, I would like you to provide the council with a status update on specifically the street sweeping issue. I know for a fact that they have GPS on them, so we would know exactly when and where. It is always a possibility that the street sweeper that you saw in the evening had nothing to do with our system, because construction sites and they hire street sweepers in the evenings, and this could just have been some random thing, but we want to verify that the street sweeping is taking place over there. So if you can provide us a report next week, and obviously get back to Spencer on that too.
Thank you.
As well, the next thing I'm going to ask for, a staff report. This is actually, as several of you have mentioned, yes, our police force is the sheriff's department is contracted with us to be our police department. So Lieutenant Young, who is here in the audience tonight, is lieutenant, but he is also our chief of police for our police station. I would like to get a full report, Lieutenant, Chief, of what exactly you can tell me about everything, the way these phone calls are handled, when somebody calls in a complaint about the CDFA showing up at their door. I want to know how that's handled, the time that it takes for somebody to arrive on scene. I get that this is a hostile situation and can escalate out of control extremely quickly. I want to know what our sheriffs are doing to not only get there, but to then verify if these individuals, who they are, and if they're legally allowed to be there. Our police department would be able to look at the warrant and see if there's some kind of paperwork, or whatever paperwork they're trying to have you sign, which I haven't personally seen, so I don't have anything I can comment on it, but I want our sheriffs to give us, the council, a report before next Wednesday's meeting. I'd like to see everything that the sheriffs have done. We would love to work in concert with the CDFA, the residents, and the sheriff all together, but it does not seem like this has been happening, and we're gonna dig deep to find out what we can. So I want to see that report before Wednesday at 6 p.m. If that could be arranged. And then we'll move on to the next speaker, Marilyn Blackwell. Marilyn? Going once, twice? Okay, the next speaker, D. If you can let us know your last name too for the record, please. Unless that is your last name. I don't want to pursue.
Use the hand mic, ma'am.
My last name is Eric Ryan.
Am I on the payroll?
Rigoin. Okay, I live in Mariona, and I never met SOP people before, and it's a great group of people. The first day, some people came to my house and put a sign on my door. I wasn't there. Second day they came, and they said that I had so many hours to get a hold of an attorney or building. I can't see well. I have bleeding cataracts. I'm a retina. So my son came home. He was an hour late. They said, "No, you're late. You cannot fight this." So our friend told us about SOB. They were right there, Johnny on the spot. The next day they came to kill my birds. I was hysterical. They came with animal control. They looked at my horse. I have a 33-year-old horse. I'm a widow. Now I have to get a vet, come out, age my horse, and say, this horse is okay. I don't have the money for this. I have 3 potbelly pigs. I have to get another vet to come out and say, my pigs are okay. I mean, and they didn't come from my animals, they came from my chickens. Well, luckily they didn't take my chickens because the SOB, they all left. I mean, I don't understand this, how they can come to my house and just tell me, everything has to go. You know, I have, like I said, I'm a widow, I have nothing left. I have a son, and I have my dog, and that's it. This was mine and my husband's life. And they just wanted to take it. They have a helicopter flying over my backyard to see what's in my yard. Ask me. Don't spy on me, you know, say, hey, Dee, what's in your backyard? Well, I had 3 or 4 chickens. I've been to other places where they kill the chickens and they come to the other house with the dead chickens in the back of the truck. I mean, to dispose of these chickens, they go to a dump and just throw them out there. And this is spread so easily, you know, who's walking on it? The birds, the seagulls are eating these animals. Aren't they spreading it? I mean, but they're coming to our door, and our chickens are in our yard. They're not flying around visiting everybody. They're taking them to fields and having people that are cleaning their fields just dump them in the field. I mean, this is not right. And I mean, I'm nobody. I'm just a little person, you know. But I love my animals. I have dogs and cats. I don't feel it's right. I don't think that people should come and stick a note on my door and say, I'm gonna kill your animal right here in 2 days. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dee.
And next is William, where William.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My mother was just up here a moment ago. I just want to reiterate some of the things that she had previously stated. When they showed up, they had no reason to contact animal services. There was no, my horse is 33 years old. She's sway back, she's old. Horses get old, they tend to just thin down. It's just unfortunately a fact of life. Just like with elderly people. They eat less, they exercise less, they tend to let the body go. They showed up, tried to intimidate us with animal control services. I denied them access to my property. They sent the officer on the yard. He said that my chickens were healthy. Mind you, I've informed CDFA that my chickens were vaccinated. I told them, I supplied them with proof. I told them they've been vaccinated monthly on the dot with the vaccine. Not interested at all. Didn't care. I then got involved with Save Our Birds organization because CDFA angered me. Before I had been a very passive person to think, okay, there's a disease out there. I understand that there's possibly a problem. Now, granted, I haven't seen it. I haven't heard of anybody testing negative. CDFA claims it, but yet there's no transparency. Last week, actually 2 days ago, I was in the Glen Avon area of Jurupa Valley, near Glen Avon Elementary School. They brought a truck there with dead birds in the back of their, brought it literally up this guy's yard. The one bill that the man made was, I want my property to be biosecure. Last time you were here, you guys killed chickens by bringing in the virus in my property. They brought this bunch of dead birds in the back of this truck and parked it on his driveway. They're not even honoring their own agreements they're making with the residents of this city. They're constantly doing political double talk that politicians are quite honestly so well known for. That is why so many people, I blame Jurupa Valley for this. You guys are causing the citizens to move their birds. You are causing them to make them move because they feel the city does not care. The city, they feel like the city is saying, it's your problem, not ours. We're just gonna wash our hands of it. It's a state issue. You are causing the problem, if there is a problem, to spread by failure to act. You're allowing them to bully and manipulate and to continue this practice is only gonna make the condition worse. Because you're gonna have more residents that are gonna resist, more residents that are gonna move birds out of the area. There are more residents that are gonna move birds within the area that are gonna spread the disease. You guys need to do something other than just saying, I'm gonna check into it.
Good job, Billy.
Next is Erica Perez. Erica. Okay, I'm gonna go through the cards that nobody answered the first go around. Is Victor R.M., Daniel Panetta, Marilyn Blackwell, and Erica Perez. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you, everybody. You know, I can at least tell you this much. We hear what you're saying, and it doesn't go in one ear and out the other. It's still inside the heart. And so, we are going to do what we can to dig into this as deep as we can. Obviously, we don't control what the state does, but if they're manhandling our residents illegally, improperly, we certainly can jump up and step up to the plate and make sure that whatever they are doing is by the book. Okay, it cannot be just random people doing what they feel like because they have a badge and a chicken thing. Point is that we sense your frustration. I appreciate the fact that we were able to listen to everybody's comments in what I consider a very civil way. And I appreciate that. I think the whole council and staff appreciates the fact that we can converse and you can tell us what's on your mind in a very polite way, but we get it really deep down. So we're not going to just take this line down. We are here for you. You are our residents and we live here too. You know, we're not from outside the area looking in. I live in Glen Avon. Okay, I'm in the middle of this, just like every single person sitting up here. We all live and we all care. That's why we do what we do. So we will, I can only promise you that we will do everything in our power to do something that's right. And we will take it step by step. But we will start finding out what the sheriff does in regards to this, and we will see what the CDFA says next Wednesday. Okay, so I encourage you all to be at that meeting next Wednesday, the Jurupa Unified School District Parent-Teacher Center, the new center that's open right there at the corner of Jurupa Road and Pedley. It's right there on Jurupa Road. Can't miss it, but I think we'll have something on the city website on our calendar. Terry will put something on there for this meeting, so please spread the word that this is gonna happen. It's not gonna be a microphone situation. You're gonna go table by table to speak to whoever the CDFA has there. And you will have council support to get to the bottom of it, okay? So with that, I'm gonna just, let us take a 10-minute break to stretch our legs. It's been quite a